The following is a Nate Dogg 2009 production. This is the SMU Mustangs roster. A roster that has had one heck of a season, but not in a good way. The SMU Mustangs won their first 3 games back to back, remaining undefeated. However, they would start to lose every single game for the next following weeks, resulting in 3-11 record. They have found so many different ways to try and get their record back up at the top, but with the season ending soon, they brought in one new head coach that could potentially bring them greatness in the near future. And that man is head coach Steve Harvey. And yes, you might be thinking, oh, Steve Harvey, the Family Feud host, really famous celebrity? This is a different Steve Harvey. This is the Steve Harvey that came straight from the town of York, South Carolina. Steve Harvey was the head coach of the York Cougars, a high school football team that has struggled many of times in the past. But Steve Harvey showed up, and he helped this high school team win 2 consecutive championships back to back. SMU Mustangs have thought that he was so good that they wanted to bring him in last second to see if he can help them at least get their record up to 5-12 before the season ends. SMU Mustangs have not really had great coordinators this season. The offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator are ranked both 32 in offensive and defensive side of the ball. The SMU supporters have had mixed opinions about how they feel about Steve Harvey coming in. Some people thought that it was too late in the season. Some people think that he's not worthy enough. Some people don't think he's ready enough. But besides the point, with the last week of the season appearing, Steve Harvey has his eyes set on a rivalry opponent, Tulane. Tulane met with the SMU Mustangs earlier in the year, and that caused them to lose their first game, making them 3-1. But it wasn't just any loss. No, it was a blowout win. And it wasn't just any blowout win, it was a 71-0 blowout victory for Tulane. A lot of key moments happened in the game. There was a lot of interceptions, a lot of turnovers on downs, and a lot of scoring from the offense of Tulane. At the end of the first half, Tulane was up 54-0. And when the second half started, the same thing continued. Many interceptions, many turnovers were forced, and then Tulane had a score of 71-0. But with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter, SMU had a pretty good drive going when they made it down to the 35-yard line with 3 seconds left in the game. No more timeouts left. The QB was so tired and already throwing interceptions on almost every single play, they decided to call on the kicker to kick a field goal. A 35-yard field goal was missed by the kicker, leaving SMU fans disappointed. So then, the final score was 71-0, the first loss of SMU, and the loss that would start the rest of their losing season. Some people call it a curse, some people call it just complete failure, but Steve Harvey is looking to change what has happened to SMU and mark his destiny in SMU history forever. The last game of the season will be coming up later on this week, as we will see Tulane versus SMU Mustangs. With a new head coach, Steve Harvey, on SMU's side, maybe he can grant them a new victory.